Previously on The Encounter.
You think Terran Union was built without a hitch? Not one slight, coward soul all 70 years back? My own father was among the original Terran Union back during the refounding, you know. Not in the fashion of maintenance, my dear. There's an overhaul. It could change our entire way of life, down here and above.
I've paralleled my research of every faction in Assurance with these records. If my timeline tells me correctly, I've almost completed this collection of Assurance Refounder journals. There's smoke in the distance. Come on, let's go follow and see.
Oh, why can't a holy day ever stay holy? Don't you realize what a serious breach of treaty this is? Surfacing unannounced? As much as I hate doing so, I have no choice but to call an emergency assembly on this matter.
Minister Quill?
June, it can just be Quill to you, you know.
Sorry, sir. I just thought this might be official.
What might be?
Well, hello there, Minister. Hope you don't mind me stopping by your office here, today being your sacred day and all.
Of course not, Conductor Gearlock. Come in. Thank you, June. You can shut the door.
Since your secretary let me through, I trust I'm not interrupting too much, am I?
Not at all. Just gathering my thoughts before the Day of Guidance commencement. I know the Minister of the Patient Few traditionally leads it, but sometimes I wish I could delegate it to someone older, more ministerly.
Well, 20's not a bad age, and you've been a good leader of the few. Besides, you're the only descendant of its founder, Stylus. What with your father taking off like he did. Sorry for that, didn't mean to...
No. It is what it is. Or was.
Well, anyhow, what was I saying? Oh, yes. See, when I first met your grandfather, I was about your age. Just a lowly third conductor on an early Terra train. My own people didn't care for him much, but I liked Stylus. He was good for the few. And for all the factions in Assurance, I think. You've done the name well, Stylson.
Well, thank you. Though something tells me you're not here to swap family stories, or to gush about the service tonight.
You know the Terra Union, Quill. What we believe is what we see, what we feel, hear, smell. Smoke and steel. That's where your hope is underground. Now, of course, I say any excuse is a good excuse for a holiday, be it religious or otherwise. So the Union will certainly be well represented tonight at the big feast. Oh, and you haven't heard singing until you've heard my Coleman of a grandson belt out a real train shanty there.
I think I'll hold you to that. Speaking of which, how is your train? Seems like you made it back to Assurance in one piece.
More or less. If your Elyon takes prayers, here's praying that the whole blasted engine doesn't completely combust in my face. Though there was something I did want to ask. Would you reconsider supporting Spruce's emergency assembly today? The next scheduled assembly is only 2 months away, so if you're still bent on it, you can bring up the matter of our little run-in then. Would that be too hard?
You think Old Reliance would stand for it?
Spruce? Pah, who cares about him? I'm older than he is. Yet he's more glued to the past than I ever was, even when it was the present.
The mystified one in this meeting too, you know.
The Misties? Those rambling, empty-headed gypsies? If they're not busy dreaming there's some puff of mist, or better yet, a bowl of nuts, they'd go with Old Reliance off a cliff. Quill, look at the new Dominance Guild. As faithful to that old book of guidance as the rest. But they know what it means to move forward. They're prudent, constructive. By smoke, they've nearly doubled Assurance in size and built every other settlement in the valley save Reliance. And yet, they are willing to wait until next assembly, and not let presumptions ruin a holiday.
Conductor, I understand what you're trying to say, but you literally popped out of the ground in a cabbage field up a mountain, miles away from where you should have been. I think that's more than presumption.
You've already taken their side?
Well, not until I've heard the entire story, I guess. But until then, I'll give you the benefit of every doubt.
I beg your pardon, Minister, but Ada Facade of the new Dominance Guild would like a word with you. Want to see her?
Why not? Show her in, June. Sure you won't stay, Conductor? Could be a good learning experience.
Nice try. I'll leave you to your liturgy.
Good morning, Minister Stileson. Ah, Conductor Gearlock, what a surprise. I was glad to hear you and your family survived that accident earlier. I take it you've been counseling our mutual friend on today's assembly?
He's all yours, Ada. Don't say I didn't try.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear you still feel that way, Stileson. Surely the day of guidance isn't worth spoiling over a few vegetables.
If we can all avoid losing our heads at the assembly later, I'm confident we can convene and adjourn in as little time as possible.
With all due respect, time is not what concerns me here, Minister. The Day of Guidance is the only day all 5 factions of this valley gather in one place. Today we all accept and acknowledge our mutual heritage. Those smaller, troublesome points of doctrine are less obvious when we see just how much in common we do have. But if this single day of unity is tainted by the ill will that always follows an assembly, it becomes that much more difficult to promote cooperation and goodwill.
But aren't those troublesome points of doctrine how we define ourselves? How we define truth?
And by no means to our credit, Minister.
Sir, sorry to bother you again, but a Miss Poppy Fields of the Mystified wants to, bless you before service, I think?
Ugh. Misties. Now I really need to go. See you both at assembly then.
Goodbye, Conductor. See you tonight.
The peace of the mist be upon you.
And you as well, Miss Fields.
Oh, Quill, you're so formal. I'm just Poppy, or Sister Poppy, or Elder Sister. See? Don't you feel more family-ish, more... Oh, Ada, I see that you're here.
Oh, you noticed. How family-ish of you.
I take it the foreman will not be joining us for the Day of Guidance? Again?
Progress's only competition is time, which is why the guild leader must tirelessly lead the real work throughout the valley as I maintain sanity in the assembly on his behalf.
Oh, progress, building, busyness. What has all that ever gotten you?
Well, personally, I'm rather fond of a roof and 4 walls.
No, not things. Enlightenment, inner peace, becoming one with the mist and all its mysteries. After all, today we remember the book's rediscovery, a new chapter in our own personal books of learning and wisdom. It was the beginning of the mist revealing itself to those still enough to listen. Isn't that right, Quill?
Well, that's not exactly historically.
Minister Quill, the service. It's time.
But I haven't blessed you yet.
Your greeting was blessing enough, Sister Poppy.
Minister Quill, I wish you the best of luck. I trust you will do your faction credit, as your good sense always manages to do.
Thank you, Ms. Facade. Peace be with you.
And also with you.
Why are we here? To remember. And what do we remember? The Book of Guidance, found here in the mist. May we never lose it or its truth again.
Amen.
Mist in the valley, veil that gave sight. What darkness can hide the song in the heights? A promise returned, creation restored, to wait for a land in the light.
Hey, what's the idea? It's a holiday.
People of Assurance, I assure you the Assembly is grateful to those who could attend on such short notice. We appreciate you taking time from your families and the Day of Guidance celebrations, so we will endeavor to make this assembly brief. While we had no plans to assemble tonight, 3 of the 5 factions of Assurance have called for this emergency meeting to discuss potential...
Potential? Mr. Secretary, one of those
All due respect, you are out of order, High Elder. As I was saying, potential abuses by the Terran Union. Now, let each faction take their place at the table as called. The High Elder of the Elders of Old Reliance.
High Elder Spruce Ernest III. Present.
The Chief Conductor of the Terran Union.
Chief Conductor Tough Gearlock here.
First Sister of the Mystified.
First Sister Poppy Fields, blessed to be present.
The Foreman of the New Dominance Guild.
The foreman regrettably cannot attend tonight's assembly and has sent me as a guild representative. Vice Supervisor Ada Facade here.
Surprise, surprise.
and the Minister of the Patient Few.
Minister Quill Stileson, present.
And now to our only matter of business. High Elder, the floor is yours.
Thank you. People of Assurance, my fellow members of the Assembly, the Peak of Reliance has been the breadbasket of this city and surrounding settlements since before the fall of dominance. We have made no attempt to condone the heretical views of our neighbors, yet I and my fellow elders have never withheld the generous bounty of our mountain, nor disturbed the peace we all so tenuously share.
So much for pleasantries.
All we have ever asked is that our way of life and our mountain be left in peace, especially from the pollution of the Terra Union and their pestilential trains. Now, I first intended to call this meeting under suspicion that a recent failing of crops on Reliance's western slope was due to illegal tunneling by the Union. There is no need for alarm. I assure you there will be plenty of food for the valley come harvest. But then again, I do wonder if Reliance will indeed be able to fill your bellies come winter if Terra trains are allowed to tunnel out our fields as Chief Conductor Tough Gearlock did himself yesterday.
That was an accident.
High Elder Ernest, I sympathize with your complaint, I really do. We of the Guild are builders. We know the pain our seeing the labor of one's hands lost. But not even we would begrudge anyone if the destruction of our work meant the saving of lives, as was the case when the Gearlock train breached your mountain.
Oh, spare the pretentious pity! You knew Dominance Guilders always side with the Terra Union.
As the mystified are with you, seeing they agreed to this meeting before even knowing its purpose.
We help all who seek to protect the wholeness of the valley. Yet even someone ignorant of the secrets of the mist would know that the presence of a Terra train on Reliance Peak violates nearly every act agreed to by this assembly.
Exactly! I demand a public confession of the Chief Conductor for his odious contempt of this assembly's authority, and full compensation for the crops he so willfully destroyed.
You've been sucking that thin mountain air for too long, Spruce. You cannot tell borders very well drilling hundreds of feet underground. All right, so I'm sorry I ruined a few heads of cabbage. But tell me, how much cabbage would you have lost if an archaic C-type engine blew up my train with me and my family in it?
The assembly will be brought to order.
Ask Minister Stileson. He was there.
Yes! Go on, Quill. Tell them what you saw.
Minister Stileson, do you have something to add?
Well, as the High Elder says, I did see the Gearlock train on Reliance Peak, and as the Chief Conductor claims, it was clear that something was indeed wrong with the train. What I still don't understand is what the Terra Union was doing so close to Reliance.
Minister, a single decrepit mining train could hardly be equated to the entire Terra Union.
Or could it? Could there be more trains under Reliance Peak? More trains beyond the established borders that we know nothing of?
The Terra Union would never be so careless as to
think they'd ever get caught, Conductor?
to do anything to the detriment of the valley, including defying this assembly. A bit of prospecting well below the surface shouldn't have caused any harm or hullabaloo had our boiler not overheated, causing us to go topside.
Prospecting?
Aye. As you know, the new Dominance Guild does soil tests to determine the quality of any new potential build sites. They are kind enough to lend this information to our mining trains. And one of these reports showed potential for pocket of iron ore beneath Reliance. So we thought...
What, by guidance, was the Guild doing soil test for on our mountain?
And what right does that give the Terra Union to mine beyond their territory?
Mr. Secretary, if the Chief Conductor and I could speak without interruption, we would shortly clear up this small misunderstanding and let everyone return to the day's festivities.
Misunderstanding?
Facade, if you can clear this up now, please do.
Gladly, Minister Stileson. To start, I can confirm the Chief Conductor's story. He requested our survey of Reliance's Peak sometime last month. When the Reliance Elders were looking to rebuild not long after the fall of Dominance, we graciously offered our building services, and a survey of the ground's composition was standard practice. Of course, the elders and the guild were unable to settle on the terms, but the survey was completed all the same. Moreover, the treaty does not technically forbid deep-level prospecting under the mountain, only large-scale mining and permanent tunnel construction.
I wanted to avoid the very firestorm we're dealing with now, and to ask for permission to mine only after we had proven the existence of iron ore.
Prospecting? The Mystified would have never agreed to the treaty if we knew the Terra Union could still poison our precious valley by simply calling their destruction by another name.
And the same goes for the Elders of Old Reliance.
Everyone, please! Don't make this any more complicated. Such prospecting has no need to come to the surface, so the destruction of the crops on Reliance was indeed an accident, and likely the better disaster given what could have happened. So, if there are no objections, I have a simple motion that should settle all of this right now. The Terra Union will not be held liable for the destruction of any of Reliance's crops.
But Quill!
And in return, the Terra Union and the New Dominance Guild will sign an amendment to the treaty that forbids any tunneling or building that is not already explicitly permitted. No more surprises from here on out. Fair? Mr. Secretary, I wish to put my motion to a vote.
The Minister of the Patient Few has called for a vote. Does anyone second the motion?
Second.
What?
Spruce. If those trains aren't stopped now, we'll lose more than vegetables. What if our homes are next?
The elder sister of the Mystified has seconded the motion. Representatives of the Assembly cast your vote as called. The Patient Few.
The Patient Few votes aye.
The Mystified.
The Mystified votes aye.
The Terra Union. The Terra Union. Conductor Gearlock, Supervisor Facade, the Assembly is waiting for your vote.
Pick your battles, Ada. We have bigger problems now. The Union votes aye.
The Elders of Old Reliance.
With great concern, I...
The New Dominance Guild.
The foreman will hear of this stuff. The guild votes aye.
All in favor, none opposed. The motion is carried and the matter is settled. If there is no objection, I declare this emergency assembly of the Peoples of Assurance to be adjourned. Now, let us commence with the festivities.
Episode 34, The Day of Guidance, was written by Colton Grelier, featuring the voice talents of Joshua Reed, Caleb Towns, Ben Perry, Kara O'Brien, Amanda Ward, John Bullock, Anna Tierney, and Paul Cole. Music by Mark McDowell and Prita Taiwacharamas. Visit The Encounter online at encounterseries.com. The Encounter is written, performed, and produced by Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia.